Hey guys, and welcome to my new channel, FPL Turt, discussing all things FPL. This is my first video, so please go easy on me. And let me know in the comments of how I can improve next time. It's also worth mentioning, I would normally have a video, but my camera quality, it just isn't worth it. It's so pixelated, but I will dig out a camera from somewhere. And before I run you through my Game Week 17 team, I want to take you through last season, which was a bit of a mad one, but you'll see. So, last season I finished with an overall rank of 281, which some would say is luck and others would say skill. But in reality, in my opinion, it's just a bit of both. Probably more luck than skill, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it. I finished on 2,734 and made a total of 14 transfer hits, which total to 56 point deduction, unless my maths is wrong. But I think that's pretty good over the course of a season, 56. I don't think that's too bad at all. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't, but that's just how it goes. My most captained was Salah, which isn't really surprising, let's be honest. De Bruyne was obviously my best captain with that mad game against Wolves, scoring 4. I didn't actually watch that game, but yeah, unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I kept checking the app. I think I was at work, but scored the first, I was happy. Second, I was like over the moon. Third and fourth, I was just like, this is ridiculous. My luck's definitely in. And that took my rank so many thousands. I can't think of what it was exactly, but yeah, it took me from probably like an average rank to a very good rank. So yeah, loved it. Probably the best captain I've ever done in FPL. So just want to talk a little bit about the chips from last season. Triple captain, scored 148. Not the actual captain, but the whole game week score. The global average was 82, so smashed the global average. Same with the bench boost, 157, smashed the global average of 79. The free hits, 58 and 62, both below the global averages. Yeah, not great from the stats there, but stats are stats. Taken with a pinch of salt sometimes. But yeah, I just wanted to run through the chips. So now I'm just going to run you through my team for Game Week 17. And I really can't wait for this one. It feels like a lifetime since Premier League football has been on with the World Cup. I do like international football, but it just doesn't hit the same as Premier League. It really doesn't, especially the fantasy football side of it. It was pretty poor. I did play the World Cup fantasy, but it just didn't interest me in the slightest. But anyways, starting off in goal, Edison. A lot of people say don't go for premium keepers, but in my opinion, I just think I think Edison's a very solid choice. They get a lot of clean sheets, Man City. Although he doesn't really get bonus points because of the likes of Cancelo, I just think it's a very good option. He's the only one in that Man City defence that I can say starts every week. So yeah, that's the reason I've gone with Edison in goal. Then moving on to the defence, starting off with Reece James for 5.8 mil, absolute steal. Attacking returns, I would say clean sheet returns, but Chelsea's start to the season's been poor. A few frailties in there at the minute. Hopefully that can turn around. And for Reece James, 5.8 mil, that's cheap. Next, Ben White. Also a steal at his price. Although he doesn't have the attacking returns that Reece James does. Still a great option for a great team that are flying at the minute. Yeah, so potential for a clean sheet is high. Yeah, at that price, no brainer. Next, Cancelo. There's not really a lot I can say on Cancelo, to be honest. He's great going forward. And Man City, you know, the same argument for Edison. He's likely to be in the defence in the starting 11 with great clean sheet potential. The only thing that puts me off a little bit is the price, but you know, if you can get him in, get him in. Next, Robertson. So I think Liverpool are going to smash the second half of the season, and I wanted a Liverpool asset in defence, and Robertson for his price, 6.7, not too bad. Certainly cheaper than Trent, with nearly as much attacking potential. I probably wouldn't say just as much as Trent, but enough for his price. So yeah, Robertson's in. So moving on to the midfield, and just spoken about Robertson, but Mohamed Salah, yeah, plain and simple for me, he is going to tear up the Premier League in the second half of the season, which is the main reason why I think Liverpool are going to do well. He's had that break, the World Cup break, and yeah, I just think he's going to be a different beast in the second half of the season, and it's not someone I want to miss out on. Other than Haaland, he is the other cert captain choice usually, so he's in my team. Had no real second thoughts with him, although it does prevent me getting other players in that I wanted, but Salah is Salah. History speaks for itself, although this season he hasn't hit the heights as he has on previous seasons, but you know, I've got faith in him, so I'm sticking with him. And then next up, Martinelli. At that price, it's hard to get rid of, especially with Arsenal doing so well. And now Jesus is injured, he has the potential to play through the middle, which keeps him in my team. So Martinelli, he's in, and he's probably going to stay there for the remainder of the season, if I'm honest, unless he picks up an injury or something else happens, but he's going to be in the team for a while. Next up, Rashford. It's a bit of a gamble in most people's eyes. Again, the price. I base a lot of it on price. And I think he's one of United's most dangerous players. Although I don't think they have a lot of dangerous players these days, but he is the one for me. Playing through the middle or to the left. I feel like he's better from the left, but either way, he's in. And his next three fixtures, Forest, Wolves and Bournemouth, they sound great. Very punishable teams. And I think Rashford will be the focal point of that. So yeah, that's Rashford. Andreas, he's just the enabler in my team, but I've had him in for most of this season, and you know, it's paid off. He's had a number of assists, a few goals, so at that price, yeah, he's in. He starts every week, so his minutes aren't a problem. Yeah, and he enables me to get players in other positions from other teams that I like. So, yeah. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning the double game week in 19. And that was part of the thinking with Andreas. So yeah, he's not going anywhere. Now onto the forward line. Harry Kane. Harry Kane. I love him. I really do. Even as a Chelsea fan, I love him. I think he's one of the best in the world. And I used to slate him when he first came on the scene. I was just like, who is this? But yeah, he made a mug of me, really. I used to take the mickey, but he's become so good. It's just a shame he's spent his career at Spurs, because he could have achieved so much more. But what a player. Yeah, he penalty taker, plays every single minute of every single game, scores goals. Now he assists goals. It's hard for me to leave him out. The only thing that worries me is Conte's defensive style, but yeah, you can still count on him to get a goal. So he's in the team. And next to him, Haaland. I don't really need to say anything more on Haaland. He's an animal. He's coming back from a long break, so he's going to be stronger than ever. Same with Salah, really. Them two, coming from a nice long break. I think both of them, they're going to rip it up the second half of the season. So captain this week is Mohamed Salah. Great fixture against Villa, and mark my words, there is a big haul incoming. So in terms of bench, it's a very cheap one with players which do gain points coming off the bench, probably, apart from the goalkeeper. But because Ward's looking good now. He had a shaky start. I thought he was awful to begin with, but he's really coming to his own. Bueno is one to watch. 3.9 million. He's broke into the first team. Let's just see if he stays there. But he looks a player. I've seen him play a couple of times, and I really like him. So that was kind of a no-brainer for the bench. Bueno. Greenwood. He's not a starter, but he does come off the bench, gets some points here and there. So pretty happy with the bench. De Silva, another one. He starts the odd game. More often than not, he comes off the bench. And yeah, he's had a couple of goals, but yeah, it's probably a weak bench. It's cheap and weak, but that's what I've gone for. I don't really rely on the bench, because I'm expecting my first 11 to start. So I don't need the strongest of benches unless I'm a bit unsure on the first 11 whether they'll start or whether they won't. So yeah, that's the team for game week 17. Let me know in your comments what you think and where I can improve on the team. And on the video, as it's my first one, it's probably a little bit awkward. So if you are still listening, thank you very much. Please do subscribe. I am on socials, which you can see on screen. FPL Turt on each. So yeah, please show some love. Thank you for listening. See you next time.